Man, I'm built different, period. I'm just built different, man. And I've always had an eye, discipline, and a work ethic that I've had at a young age that I just apply it there.
Leonardo da Vinci's painting of the Mona Lisa is one of the most famous pieces of art in the world. The original painting hangs in the Louvre Museum in Paris. Millions of people come from all over the world to get a glimpse at the mysterious woman in the painting. But what if this mysterious woman could talk? What would she say? Let's find out in today's episode. Hi, it's me. Welcome to my channel. And today we are going to be exploring what if the Mona Lisa portrait could talk. Make sure to subscribe so you're notified every time we upload a new video. The Mona Lisa is one of the most popular pieces of art ever created. She has her own Wikipedia page, and there have been countless books written about her. There are also thousands of articles written about the many mysteries that surround her. So today, let us look at some of the mysteries surrounding this famous painting, and what might happen if the Mona Lisa could suddenly talk. If the Mona Lisa were to suddenly start talking, she may start by telling us who she is. After all, nobody knows for sure if the painting was meant to be a portrait of Lisa Gherardin or if it was a self-portrait of Leonardo da Vinci. Lisa Gherardin was the wife of a wealthy silk merchant from Florence named Francesco del Giordano. She may not have been the most beautiful woman in Florence, but she was certainly one of the wealthiest. At the time when the painting was commissioned, Lisa and her husband were expecting their second child together. This could explain why Lisa is holding a branch with leaves and flowers in the painting. It was believed that the flowers in the painting represent the fertility and abundance of nature, while the leaves represent new life. The fact that she is pregnant is further emphasized by the shape of her dress, which highlights her belly. But although Lisa was quite wealthy, she may not have been able to afford such an expensive painting. The artist himself was paid more than 600 florins for the painting. This was the equivalent of purchasing 2 horses or 4 cows. So who exactly was this painting really for? Some historians believe that the painting was actually a self-portrait of sorts. They point to several details in the painting that seem to suggest that the artist may have painted himself as a woman. This theory is supported by the odd placement of the sitter's eyes. They do not focus on the viewer, but instead they look past them, almost as if she's staring off into the distance. Some historians believe that this is because Leonardo da Vinci had recently completed another painting called Adoration of the Magi. He painted a similar landscape in both paintings, which suggests that he intended for the viewers to see them together. This is further supported by the fact that both women in the paintings wear similar clothing and have a similar hairstyle. Regardless of who the woman in the painting really is, if she could talk, she would likely tell us about where she spent most of her life. It's widely believed that the Mona Lisa lived in Florence for most of her life, but this isn't entirely true. She was born in the village of Onciano, near the city of Vinci, which is where she got her last name. Her father's name was Piero del Vecchio, and he was a Florentine notary. When she was just 4 years old, she moved to Florence with her father and his new wife. Here, she was primarily cared for by her father's servants, so she had very little contact with him. When she was 13, she married a well-to-do man named Francesco del Giardino. They moved to the town of Pistoia for a few years before returning to Florence. By this time, she had given birth to 2 children. Their son died at the age of 3, but their daughter survived and became a nun. Later in life, Lisa became increasingly involved in charitable works and became friends with several powerful men, including the Medici family. She also developed a passion for art and became patrons of some of the most famous artists of the Renaissance, including Leonardo da Vinci. While living in Florence, she sat for a portrait by one of the most famous artists of the Renaissance. But it's not entirely clear if she knew that this would be one of the most famous portraits ever created. While it's obvious that the Mona Lisa sat for her portrait, it's not clear how much she knew about the painting. In fact, she may not have even known that Leonardo da Vinci was working on a portrait of her at all. It's possible that she simply posed for the artist as he worked on other pieces. This is supported by the fact that the painting took 4 years to complete. It's unlikely that the Mona Lisa would have been willing to sit for a portrait for so long without knowing what it was for. On the other hand, however, she may have been fully aware that the artist was painting her portrait, and she may have been quite proud of it. After all, she was a wealthy woman, and she would have known that she was sitting for one of the most famous artists of the Renaissance. What would the Mona Lisa talk about if she had a chance? If the Mona Lisa could talk, it's likely that she would talk about her life in Renaissance Italy. She could share stories about the art, culture, and daily life during that time period. She could also talk about the famous people she knew, including Leonardo da Vinci. She could also talk about the strange obsession that people have with her portrait. For centuries, people have been obsessed with the Mona Lisa and her enigmatic smile. There have been countless theories about the painting and its meaning. Some believe that the painting is a self-portrait of Leonardo da Vinci. Others believe that the painting is a metaphor for the Renaissance ideal of beauty. Still, others believe that the painting is simply a realistic depiction of a woman who happened to have an enigmatic smile. The Mona Lisa has been the subject of much speculation and debate over the centuries. Some have interpreted her smile as being enigmatic or mysterious, while others have seen it as simply a realistic depiction of a woman. The ambiguity of her smile has led to much debate and speculation, but ultimately it is up to the viewer to decide what they think her smile means. If the Mona Lisa could talk, she may also comment on the fact that she is the most famous woman in the world. She could talk about how it feels to be so well known and how she is often copied and parodied. She could also talk about how she has been the target of many art thieves and how she is now protected by the French government. Now, these are just a few things the Mona Lisa might talk about if she could. What do you think she would say? Let us know in the comments below. If the Mona Lisa could suddenly talk, she may reveal some interesting facts about herself and the world around her. She could also offer some unique insights into the painting process and the artist's creative genius. It would be a once-in-a-lifetime experience to hear the Mona Lisa speak, and art lovers would flock to the Louvre Museum in Paris to hear her tell her story. In addition to hearing about her life and thoughts, visitors to the Louvre may also want to know more about the painting itself. For example, they may want to know how it was painted and what techniques Da Vinci used to create such a realistic portrait. The Mona Lisa could also share some of the secrets of her enigmatic smile, which has puzzled viewers for centuries. Perhaps one of the most interesting things about the Mona Lisa is the way in which it was painted. Da Vinci was a master of realism, and he was able to capture the likeness of his subject in great detail. He also used a technique known as sfumato, which involves blurring the outlines of an image to create a soft, hazy effect. This technique is especially evident in the Mona Lisa's smile, which is one of the most famous examples of sfumato in Western art. The Mona Lisa could also share some of the secrets of her enigmatic smile. The Mona Lisa's smile has been the subject of much speculation and debate over the centuries. Some believe that her smile is enigmatic and mysterious, while others believe that it is simply a realistic depiction of a woman. The ambiguity of her smile has led to much debate and speculation. But ultimately, it is up to the viewer to decide what they think her smile means. If the Mona Lisa could talk, she would undoubtedly have some thoughts on the countless theories that have been proposed about her painting. She may even offer her own interpretation of the painting and what it means to her. It would be fascinating to hear her perspective on the painting and the legacy that it has left behind. The Mona Lisa is one of the most famous paintings in the world, and it is impossible to imagine what it would be like if she could suddenly talk. It would undoubtedly be a once-in-a-lifetime experience to hear her voice and learn about her life and thoughts. It would also be interesting to hear her take on the painting itself and the various theories that have been proposed about it over the centuries. As we continue to explore the world of art, we will no doubt come across many more mysterious and enigmatic works that will baffle and intrigue us. Who knows what secrets they may hold or what stories they could tell if only they could talk. I've been your host. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to learn more about the Mona Lisa or other famous works of art, make sure to check out our other videos. We'll see you next time.
Man, I'm built different, period. I'm just built different, man. And I've always had an eye, discipline, and a work ethic that I've had at a young age that I just kind of